we are back at the Daytona International Speedway for today's running of the Daytona Duels, and this is where all the cars will compete to figure out where they will be starting in the Daytona 500, and 7 cars will fight for 2 spots to make it into the 500. Now let's take a look at the format that will be used for both Daytona Duels. There will be 2 segments of 9 or 10 cars, and the top 5 will move to the final stage. All races will be 4 laps. The top 10 in each duel will get points. First gets 10 season points and a playoff point, second gets 9 points, third gets 8 points, and so on. Then the highest open driver in each duel will make it into the Daytona 500. Now let's take a look at your Pro Gears Hire drivers to watch for today's duel number 1. Austin Dillon does not have to worry about where he finishes tonight because he's already locked in on the front row as he's your Daytona 500 pole sitter. He's had a fast car this weekend as he finished 3rd in the Clash. Could he possibly get the duel win today? Jimmie Johnson's your Rating Series champion. He starts 3rd in duel number 1 today. He's been really quiet this weekend after having a 5th place run in the Clash. He hopes to win this duel and to get some momentum for the 500. And our final driver is Kyle Larson. Was the fastest of the open drivers in qualifying. He's locked into the Daytona 500, so he doesn't have to worry about racing his way in. But the guy next to him, Newman, he needs a good run today if he wants to have a chance of making it into the 500. Now let's head trackside for the command to fire engines.
And now for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, representing Gander RV, Marcus Lemonis.
Let's get on your feet. I can't hear you. Celebrate our flag, our freedom in our country. Drivers, start your engines.
The engines have been fired and we are ready to go racing here for duel number 1. Your pace car driver today is the Knox Cup Series. He is driving in the Corvette C7Z06. If you want to be a pace car driver, be sure to comment in this video down below. Now here's your starting lineup for segment number 1. In row 1, you got your pole sitter, Austin Dillon, and to his outside, the 11 car of Denny Hamlin. In row 2, the 88 car of Alex Bowman, and the 4 car of Kevin Harvick. In row 3, you got the 42 car of Matt Kenseth, and an open driver in the 38 car, John Hunter Nemechek. In row 4, 2 Summit City Racing drivers, Paul Menard making his final start, and Joseph West in the 28. Then rounding out the field, another open driver, Justin Haley. Denny Hamlin will take the segment win in duel number 1 as we take a look at the replay here. In lap 1, it looks like Dillon is going to lead it until he gets a little bump from Bowman, and that sends Dillon into the side of Hamlin. In lap 2, Bowman leads the field with Dillon to the outside. Dillon gets a great jump from Hamlin, but then all of a sudden he gets pushed into Bowman, and then that allows Hamlin to take back the lead. Then lap 3, watch how Dillon gets a good run. Actually, Hamlin gets a good run. Then Dillon tries to block on Kenseth, but that doesn't work, and that allows Justin Haley, an open driver, to sneak around for second. Then lap number 4, Hamlin and Haley this time, but Hamlin and Bowman get a huge jump, and we're going to take 1-2 for the moment. Oh, but watch this pass by Justin Haley as the field gets checked up on that side. Haley just sneaks on by, and is going to barely beat Bowman for second at the moment, but would end up finishing 3rd. So Denny Hamlin will finish 1st, Alex Bowman 2nd, Justin Haley 3rd, Austin Dillon 4th, Matt Kenseth 5th, Kevin Harvick 6th, Paul Menard 7th, John Hunter Nemechek in 8th, and Joseph West in 9th. John Hunter Nemechek now needs Kyle Larson to beat out Justin Haley if he wants to make it into the 500. Now we will move on to segment number 2. In row 1, you got the 22 car Joey Logano and the 48 car Jimmie Johnson. Row 2, you got the 21 car Matt Benedetto and the 24 car William Byron. Then in row 3, you got the 14 car of Clint Boyer and the 01 car of Kyle Larson. Then in row 4, you got the 1 car of Kurt Busch and the 95 car of Christopher Bell. Then rounding out the field in the number 78 car is Kiko Moon. The 22 car of Joey Logano is able to win segment number 2 as we take a look at the replay here. Lap 1, Joey Logano makes a nice move to the side draft off of Jimmy Johnson that causes Johnson to get loose. And that allows Logano to lead lap 1. Then lap 2, he's going to get a good push from Jimmy Johnson's teammate William Byron. But Johnson gets a great push from Kyle Larson. And that puts Jimmy to the lead and Kyle Larson in 3rd. Then lap 3, Johnson gets a great push by Kyle Larson. Then Kyle Larson goes to make it 3 wide and is going to lead the lap. It looks like that he might have a chance at winning the segment. Then heading to lap 4, he gets a terrible start as Johnson and Logano take off, and then Larson tries to side draft Johnson, and that ends up costing him, and he finishes not outside the top 5. And that means it's not going to be enough for John Hunter, as you see the contact made between the 2 cars. That's not going to be enough for John Hunter to make it into the Daytona 500, because if Kyle Larson were able to have been the farthest, then he would have won because of he was the farthest driver in the duels, and John Hunter Nemechek was the fastest of the rest of the drivers. So it's a huge break as Joey Logano is going to finish 1st, Clint Boyer 2nd, William Byron 3rd, Matt DiBenedetto in 4th, Jimmy Johnson 5th, Kyle Larson in 6th, Kurt Busch 7th, Christopher Bell in 8th, and Kiko Moon in 9th. So that means Justin Haley will move on to the Daytona 500. Now we move to the final stage. You got in row 1, you got the 11 car of Denny Hamlin and the 22 car of Joey Logano. Row 2, you got the 88 car of Alex Bowman and the 14 car of Clint Boyer. In row 3, the furthest open driver so far, Justin Haley in the 16 and William Byron in the 24. Then in row 4, you got your Daytona 500 pole sitter Austin Dillon and the 21 car of Matt DiBenedetto. Then rounding out the field is the 42 car of Matt Kenseth and the 48 car of Jimmy Johnson, who will win Duel 1 and start in the 3rd position. What a move. Joey Logano is going to win the final stage and start 3rd in the Daytona 500 as we take a look at the replay here. Lap 1, Logano has the lead at the moment, but Hamlin comes on top of him and turns him around. But Logano is able to hold the lead. So lap 2, Logano has the lead and gets a huge push from Boyer, and that allows Logano to lead another lap. Then heading to lap 3, again, Logano has been out front most of the day. And then Hamlin gives a great push to Logano, and that allows Clint Boyer to move up to the 3rd position. And then in the final lap, this is where it all goes wrong. Hamlin gets a great push from Austin Dillon, and it looks like he's clear, but then Logano comes storming back. He turns Hamlin, and it allows Joey Logano to win the final stage and to start 3rd in the Daytona 500. What a move for Joey Logano. As here it is. Look at this. He just turns Hamlin around, and then he's able to correct it around and manage to beat out Hamlin to take the segment win and to win in the final stage. An incredible job by Joey Logano, and shows his great driving talent to that put him in the Cup Series. Joey Logano is going to end up finishing 1st, Denny Hamlin 2nd, Clint Boyer 3rd, Austin Dillon, your pole sitter, will finish 4th, but he will be the pole sitter in the 500, Matt Kenseth 5th, Alex Bowman 6th, Matt DiBenedetto 7th, William Byron 8th, Justin Haley, a great run, is going to finish 9th, and Jimmy Johnson in 10th. And as we head down to the victory lane, it looks like Logano and Hamlin are having a bit of a conversation about what happened. Like, I don't know if it was intentional or if it was on purpose, but hopefully those guys can figure it out. Now we'll take a look at the finishing results from duel number 1. Remember, the top 10 will get points, 1 through 10, and Louis Logano will also get a playoff point. Drivers who finished outside the top 10, it was Kevin Harvick in 11th, Kyle Larson 12th, he was already locked in because of his qualifying time, Paul Menard 13th, Kurt Busch 14th, John Hunter Nemechek will miss out on the 500, Christopher Bell finished 16th, Joseph West 17th, and Kiko Moon in the 78 will also miss out. Bad luck for those guys as they'll try next race at Las Vegas if they can make it into that race. So Joey Logano is your winner in duel number 1 as he celebrates with his team. He'll be sitting 3rd and will lead the segment 3 down when we get to the 500. When we come back, we will have duel number 2 right after this. We are back for duel number 2 of the Daytona Duels. Joey Logano already was the winner of the first duel. So who will become the second duel winner? And who will be the last car to make it into the Daytona 500 today? Now before we get to your drivers to watch, there is a bit of a chance of a rain near the end of the race you've seen here in future casts. As, yeah, there's a lot of rain that could be coming the way of the track near the end of the race. We'll just have to see how the radar plays out. Now let's take a look at your Pro Gear Tire drivers to watch for the duel number 2. Daniel HEMRIC is your outside pole sitter and is locked into the front row. He also finished 2nd in the Clash and had a really fast car this week. He's hoping to turn that speed into a win in the duel today. The guy who he battled against in the Clash was Ryan Newman. He was your Clash winner, and he starts 4th in duel number 2 today. He's hoping to turn that Clash win into momentum for the rest of Speedweeks. Could he possibly come out with a duel win today? And Brad Keselowski was your last year Daytona 500 winner. He qualified 18th, a very poor starting position. He's hoping to work his way up to the front and start in a better position for the 500. Now let's head trackside for the Command Fire Engines for duel number 2.
Here to deliver the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome Grand Marshal, Senior Vice President of Global Brands and Communication for Can-Am, Anne-Marie LaBerge.
Drivers, start your engines!
We are now ready for segment number 1 and duel number 2 to begin. In row 1, you got the 31 car of Daniel HEMRIC and the 6 car of Ryan Newman. In row 2, you got the 41 car of Cole Custer and the 17 car of Chris Buescher. In row 3, you got your reigning Daytona 500 champion, Brad Keselowski, and the 9 car of Chase Elliott. In row 4, 2 JGR teammates, Martin Truex Jr. and Eric Jones. Then rounding out the field, 2 open drivers. In the 40 car is Ross Chastain, and in the 13 car is Ty Dillon. Daniel HEMRIC holds off Brad Keselowski and Ryan Newman to win segment 1 of duel number 2 as we take a look at the replay. Lap 1, HEMRIC gets a great push by Cole Custer that propels him to the lead, and he has a big lead. Then lap 2, Cole Custer to the outside. HEMRIC gets a good push by Newman. He doesn't get off to the good start, and then he gets turned around by trying to side draft Cole Custer. That allows Newman to take the lead heading into lap number 3. Lap number 3, Newman does not get a good jump as HEMRIC and Keselowski take to the lead as HEMRIC was able to lead lap number 3. Then heading to lap 4, you got HEMRIC and Keselowski in the front row with Buescher and with Roush teammates in the second row. And a good run for both that allows both Roush teammates to get there. And then Cole Custer was able to clinch the 5th spot. Daniel HEMRIC finishes 1st, Brad Keselowski 2nd, Chris Buescher in the 17 finishes 3rd, Ryan Newman 4th, Cole Custer 5th, Ty Dillon, a great job for the open driver in 6th, Chase Elliott 7th, Martin Truex Jr. 8th, Ross Chastain in 9th, and Eric Jones in 10th. Now we move to segment number 2 of duel number 2. In row 1, you got the 43 car of Bubba Wallace and the 12 car of Ryan Blaney. In row 2, in the 35 car, it is Daniel Suarez, and in the 10 car, it is Eric Almirola. In row 3, the 81 car of Eddie Gallagher and the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. In row 4 is the 37 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and the 18 car of Kyle Busch. Then rounding out the field in the 7 car, it is Joey Gase. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. needs to finish 6th or better if he wants to make it into the Daytona 500. Ryan Blaney is able to edge out Bubba Wallace and Eric Almirola to take this segment win and move on to the final stage as we take a look at lap number 1. Blaney got a huge push from Almirola that gave him the lead in lap 1. Then heading to lap 2, he leads with Bubba Wallace to his outside. Again, Almirola gives a huge push to Blaney, but this time Bubba stays quite even, and then Almirola makes a move to the inside and pass on Blaney. So that allows Almirola to the front row. Then lap 3. Almirola doesn't get a good start at first, but then he manages to charge back up and lead lap number 3. Then heading to lap number 4. This is where things get interesting. Almirola gets a huge jump, but all of a sudden that outside line takes off and Blaney is able to win the stage and will move on to the final stage. So Ryan Blaney finishes 1st, Bubba Wallace 2nd, Eric Almirola 3rd, Eddie Gallagher 4th, Tyler Reddick in 5th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finished 6th, which that means that he will be moving on to the Daytona 500, Daniel Suarez in 7th, Joey Gase in 8th, and Kyle Busch in 9th. Now we move to the final stage. In row 1, you got the 31 car of Daniel HEMRIC and the 12 car of Ryan Blaney. In row 2, you got the 2 car of Brad Keselowski and the 43 car of Bubba Wallace. Row 3, 17 car of Chris Buescher and the 10 car of Eric Almirola. Row 4, Ryan Newman and Eddie Gallagher. Then rounding out the field is 2 rookies, the 41 car of Cole Custer and the 8 car of Tyler Reddick. Who will win duel number 2? Just as things were heating up, the rains decided to come down and rain. As the pace cars led the cars onto pit road, and we'll see if this rain shower passes, and we'll see if we can get back racing. But while we wait, let's take a look at the instant replay. On lap 1, Ryan Blaney gets off to a great jump, but Daniel HEMRIC gets a great push from Brad Keselowski to allow him to take the lead. Then lap 2, the last lap before the rains came, HEMRIC was able to get off to a good start with a push from Blaney, and then Keselowski tried to catch up, but he couldn't. Bubba Wallace almost had 2nd over Brad Keselowski, but that ended up not happening, and HEMRIC was able to lead. The rains are continuing to fall, and it doesn't look like it's going to have any signs of letting up, so we'll see what the NASCAR officials do. And I think we're hearing word that the duel number 2 has been official. The duel number 2 has been official, and Daniel HEMRIC is your duel 2 winner. Here's your final stage results. Daniel HEMRIC's going to win this duel and finish 1st, Brad Keselowski 2nd, Bubba Wallace 3rd, Eric Almirola 4th, Ryan Blaney 5th, Chris Buescher 6th, Ryan Newman 7th, Tyler Reddick 8th, Eddie Gallagher in 9th, and Cole Custer in 10th. And as we take a look at your full finishing results, remember the top 10 get points based on how they finished. But your highest open driver will be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as he finishes barely just above Ty Dillon to make it into the 500. Great job by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to make it into the 500. Daniel Suarez ended up finishing 13th, Elliott 14th, Martin Truex Jr. 15th, Joey Gase 16th, Kyle Busch 17th, Ross Chastain in 18th, and Eric Jones in 19th. So poor runs for those guys. Hopefully they can get it back together in the 500. So here is your official Daytona 500 starting lineup, starting with Austin Dillon and ending with Joseph West in the 28. But Austin Dillon, Daniel HEMRIC, Joey Logano, and Brad Keselowski will all lead segments down in the Daytona 500. So Daniel HEMRIC's going to celebrate his victory in the garage area as the rains are just keeping on falling. But a great job by Daniel HEMRIC to hold off the rest of the field and to win duel number 2. Joey Logano was your duel 1 winner, and now Daniel HEMRIC is your duel 2 winner. As we are finished with the Daytona Speedweeks, the next race will be the Daytona 500 on Sunday, and that should be a good one. So I'm Aiden North, signing off.